What is up, everybody? My name is Nathan Grimes, and today we are going to be talking about not giving a fuck. All right, so I read this book about a month or two ago, and I kind of wanted to touch on it. So if you guys haven't read it, it's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. All right, it's by Mark Manson, and he does a very good job of going in and breaking down the human psychology on why we think the way we're thinking when we have a negative mindset. And he goes into deep into entitlement. So if you are struggling with having a positive attitude or struggling with certain relationships in your life, I highly recommend you go buy this book right here, Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. They probably have it in a library somewhere if you can't buy it. I just highly recommend you read that. It's an easy read. It shouldn't cost much money. But one of the things I really wanted to talk about today was how to deal with toxic relationships and kind of go into the mindset behind why we choose to keep the toxicity around. So us as humans spend an abnormal amount of time in our life clinging to negativity, clinging to bad situations, and just overall clinging to the idea of something that's not going to happen. So what we need to do is we as leaders and we as humans need to start being better at being self-aware of who we truly are and what we are, what's going on around us. And you have to think of it kind of like an onion. Like we are the onion. Our self-conscious is the onion, and we have to just peel away at it until we get to the core of it. So at the core of that onion is your true self. And this is something I tell people all the time, that the only way you're going to find true happiness is to listen to your true self. What I mean by this, have you ever just been hanging out, just chilling, and out of nowhere, or you can be working and out of nowhere you just get, man, I want to go home, or, oh, I want to go to the lake, or, man, I really want some In-N-Out. And you never do it. And you seem to kind of like, it kind of eats at you. That was your true self talking to you. Your subconscious is your true self. So when you hear those voices in your head, that's usually your subconscious telling you what you want. So one of the things I recommend to people, I get it, we're busy, we have a lot going on in life, but what I started to do was I would write down anything that I caught myself saying or caught myself hearing, and I would write it down, and I made it a point to get that done within the next week or the next weekend, whenever I could, just so that I could fulfill that happiness that my true self was looking for. So understand that the true self is truly you. If you believe that you got a guardian angel, that's great. If you believe that it's the universe speaking to you, great. I don't care what you believe in, but understand that they all have the same principle. So that's going to roll me over into the bad relationships, the toxic relationships, and just how to truly create a positive atmosphere by surrounding yourself with people who truly love you, truly care for you, and truly care for your success. Everybody on this call right now, I trust, because I know that they care about my happiness, and they know I care about theirs. So one of the things I had to do, I was in a very dark place not too long ago. It was just the end of last year. And I made a decision. I went out and I sought help, but I made a decision, and I decided that I was going to cut all negativity out of my life, no matter how much it was going to hurt. And understand, this could be family. This could be friends you consider family. These could be friends you think are friends that aren't friends. These could be bad relationships with your significant other. Whatever you got to do, cut that toxic lifestyle out, and you will be successful. You will start to notice happiness. You'll start to notice better things happening to you. So what I challenge everybody to do is go ahead and make a list of people that you associate yourself with, whether they're friends, family, anything of that sort. Go ahead and write down that list. I had a list of almost 100 people that I associated myself with. And by the end of it, I had 5 that I wanted to associate myself with, 3 of which I hadn't talked to in years. So I cut a lot of people out of my life because I realized, wow, I was the only one keeping that friendship alive. I would be the only one to hit them up going, hey, did you want to hang out? Or, hey, did you want to do this? If you're the only one putting in effort, then that relationship is one-sided and you need to get rid of it. That's my best advice to you. If they're not putting an effort in to be around you, if they're not putting an effort in to get to know you or want to be around you, then why are you wasting your time and effort on somebody who doesn't give a shit about you? I'm going to be real with you on that. Stop wasting your precious time and effort in your life on people that don't give a fuck about you. This comes back to the mentality of not giving a fuck. Because guess what? I fuck with people that fuck with me. And if you don't have the want to be around me or the want to invest in me, guess what? I'm not going to invest in you because I got people that want to be around me. I got people that love me. I got people that care about me that deserve that effort, that time, that love, and all that, everything. So really have the mentality that I'm going to go through this list. I'm going to take it seriously, write it down, and honestly find if you can add people to this list. Be like, oh, like my boy Virgie, like I hadn't talked to him in years, but what I did was I literally hit him up going, hey dog, I'm in Carolina right now. When I get home, do you want to hang out? You want to grab a beer? And he's like, yeah, dude, like, let's do it. And then guess what? I was able to rekindle that relationship. I was able to like build that friendship back up. And I created a positive environment for myself because I surrounded myself with a lot of positivity. If you have somebody that consistently is always talking negatively, consistently always trying to bring you down, consistently just moping and doping around and not grinding, trying to do better things, bigger and better things, then why are you fucking with them? Because you are an average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. You hear that all the time, but why you keep hearing these things? It's because they really fucking matter. So if you hang out with 4 super successful all-stars, then guess what? You're going to be the 5th. If you hang out with 4 fucking dumbasses, guess what? You just became the 5th dumbass. You might be the smartest of the dumbasses, but guess what? You are an average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. Because that atmosphere, that environment that's created for you, you start to get comfortable with it. And the biggest thing with comfort is you don't get better when you're in a situation where you're comfortable. You have to continuously push yourself out of your comfort zone, and you have to continuously grind to get better, to improve. And if you've become comfortable, I'm going to challenge you right now to become comfortable being uncomfortable. I consistently push myself to do things I don't want to do or that I'm not comfortable doing in order for me to improve in whatever field I'm trying to improve in. So I challenge you guys to really break that down and go into depth on it and really evaluate yourself for that self-awareness aspect to figure out what your true self really wants, who your true self is. And I guarantee you're going to discover a lot about yourself that you didn't know. I thought I knew a lot about myself until I hit rock bottom. Once I hit rock bottom and I had to learn all this in order for me to just simply survive, I came to the realization of who I was and that I deserve so much better than that. It's like, why am I out here grinding and why am I out here trying so hard to please people that don't give a fuck about me? Whenever I got so many friends now that give so much shit, like so much of a shit that they call me out whenever I fuck up. Like that's the kind of friends you want. And like, I'm not saying ditch the people that need help, but understand you can only help people that want help. You can't force help down somebody's throat. So really go down that list. Be real with yourself. Be true to yourself. Don't lie to yourself because you can't lie to your true self. Your true self always knows what's going on. Be honest. Some of it's going to hurt, but rip the Band-Aid off. You don't have to, I'm not saying you have to message them. I'm not saying anything. You could just stop talking to them. And if they hit you up, then guess what? They want to be in your life. You can go ahead and continue that relationship with them. What I personally did is I reached out to every person I had on that list and I said, hey, this is the way you're making me feel. And it's not cool. And like, if this isn't going to change, then like, this is just going to be an acquaintance. This isn't going to be a friendship or whatever it was anymore. And most of them came back, didn't reply, or just came back with, oh, sorry, man. Like, didn't know I was doing that. So be real. You'll get real back. If you don't get real back, then guess what? You don't want to fuck with them because they're not real, right? So that just kind of ends the rant I wanted to go on today. If anybody has anything they want to add to that or anything they want to reverb off me, feel free to go ahead and unmute yourself and speak up. Nobody? All right. Well, that's going to go ahead and sum up this call. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Go out and do great things.